alert, spoiler alert, okay? Let's get straight into this. Now, we know that Love is Blind, Alexa and Brennan. What are my thoughts on the couple, right? Um, I said in the original video 3 weeks ago with the cast assessment that Brennan seemed like a guy, just a regular dude you could have a drink with. I still believe that. The only thing I don't like about Brennan is Brennan showed himself to be a simp during the reunion show. And what I mean by that is that, you know, Brennan, as soon as Alexa was attacking Cole, Brennan joined in white knighting. And I didn't like it. And then I also noticed on the Instagram pictures something odd that hold up. Let me pull up the Instagram pictures, man, because I think it's very important that we show the Instagram pictures, okay? Like this, right? And this is kind of cringe. Look at this guy. This guy's just happy to be behind this woman. Now I mean, and it's just weird because look at she ain't even looking at you, dog. She busy looking at the camera, and you busy looking at her, looking like a simp. Like, yo, I'm, and you know what? He loved us, his wife. I'm not being disrespectful. I just didn't like his energy in the reunion show, towards Cole. And I think that, Alexa is not also who you think that she is. Because at the end of the day, when you saw outside the pod, she seemed a little bit stuck up. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, I mean, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I really don't have much to say. They were very forgettable in this season. There's nothing to me that, the only thing I saw about Alexa was her friends were kind of like talking crazy to Brennan. That's another thing that made me think he's a simp. Talking about, well, you're not gonna kiss your wife, blah blah. Like, bitch, like the dude called you he called you the B word. The weirdo guy. Man, come on, fam. I don't care who you are. I would check that at the door, fam. And I know why he didn't. Because you want to let it slide. Because that's your fiance. So I could get that. I really could. But you got to set boundaries. You got to establish those right away. Including with friends. You know what I mean? And so Brennan, to me, he's just a happy-go-lucky simp. Now, Colleen and Matt, they should not have gotten engaged, bro. Don't get me wrong. I like Colleen, and I know I was harsh on Colleen initially, right? But I think that Colleen did mature on the show. She realized after she got rejected twice because they called her, shallow and superficial, that with Matt, she had to get it popping. And I really think that Colleen did, she did grow. She definitely did grow in the show, and she did mature. You know what I'm saying? I think she did. Now, there's a lot of speculation that she wasn't happy with, in the reunion show, she looked a certain type of way. And I do agree with that. Damn, Colleen looks even better in her pictures than she looks on camera. That's crazy. I do agree with that. She did look... In the reunion show, she did look, kind of scared. She did. I'm not going to lie. Matt had her on the chokehold. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to be real, though. I don't think they're going to last, bro. I just don't see them lasting, bro. Matt, unless Matt got those issues worked out, and the fact that Matt was talking about that they're living apart and he knows her schedule, to me, that's like, yo... Bro, are you keeping like tabs on her? Is Matt the type of husband? It sounds like to me he's the type of husband who asks his wife to always have that location on, you know what I mean? It wouldn't shock me if they're divorced within a year from now. It wouldn't shock me at all. Just wouldn't. Colleen just seems happy-go-lucky, and in the reunion show, you can tell that wasn't the case. Or maybe the reality of the show on how she acted and presented herself really hit different. Because a lot of people, when they get on these reality shows, they don't realize how they come off on camera, and that makes them very self-conscious. Especially a pretty girl like Colleen, who that didn't have a lot of self-awareness to begin with. Hopefully she has more now. But honestly, this couple, Matt, to me, he had Simp vibes too. Now, I felt sorry for Matt initially for his story about the girl doing him grimy, but him and Barstools, Barnip, Bartiz, when Bartiz went to see him, and he's like, oh, I can't be with that girl. She went to the club. You guys know, I went to bat for Matt. Because I was like, yo, that chick is for the streets. Remember I made that little short? Come to find out, Shorty FaceTimed you, but you were so sloshed, you didn't even remember. That let me realize this dude is a cannon. Like, a lot of these cats, outside of all these men, outside of SK and Brennan for the most part, are very emotional. You know what I'm saying? But this dude was jumping out the window like, oh, I'm leaving. We can't be together. I'm like, dang, this dude is, yeah. This, Matt needs to work on that alpha energy, that stoic energy. You already know. Raven and SK, you know what, bro? SK really, really shocked me, surprised me. SK probably is my favorite male character of the show, hands down, definitely. Just because of the fact that SK kind of like, he started from behind the starting line compared to the other guys, right? Where it didn't look like Raven was even feeling him, to the point now that, him and Raven, they made it. That they're living together, and the way that they did it, I salute them, because they didn't jump out the window. They didn't make it like, ooh, we gotta rush everything and sleep with each other right away and pretend that we love each other. No, they took their time. They did it organically. You feel me? And you can just see that Shorty's just happy. SK got Shorty in her feminine energy. You feel me? He's an African Nigerian prince for real. Not saying he's a scammer, but he got that kingdom energy as a prince, as a king. And you can tell Shorty really, she's comfortable being in her feminine energy because SK is so mature, how he carries himself. You know what I'm saying? And I think that it takes a smart woman to recognize that. And Raven also surprised me because of the fact I thought Raven was just a bimbo. Listen, guys, I'm not gonna lie, guys. I thought Raven was a bimbo initially, but Raven was far more intelligent than I perceived initially, right? Because at the beginning, it was these, she was saying some weird stuff to some of the men, talking about, would you be okay with me keeping my gifts from other men? And, just some other stuff. But you can tell, like Shorty right here, But Raven is a lot more intelligent than I thought because of the fact that she recognized, and this is where Raven is ahead of so many women mentally. She understood that with the men that she wanted in the past, why it didn't work. So yeah, those men were tall, handsome, and athletic, right? And by the way, SK is not a bad-looking brother. You feel me? I mean, I'm not going to say he's handsome because I'm a man, but he's not a bad-looking brother at all, in my opinion, right? But Raven recognized that instead of looking for the stereotypical guy that she goes for, that she needs to go for a man that would fulfill her needs. You know what I'm saying? So Raven did that, and I salute her for that because a lot of women, they don't recognize what Raven recognizes until they're 40 or 50, until it's too late. And so the fact that Shorty recognized that and was willing to give SK a fair shot, that's what allowed that relationship to thrive and flourish. And SK, like real talk, he carried himself like a boss. Yes, they didn't get married, but you can tell, like, out of all the men on the show, he was definitely had the most alpha energy. You feel me? Just how he carried himself and just how, like, he moved around with Raven and whatnot. Just his whole demeanor, his whole frame. And this is another thing is, don't believe that the guy who has the most muscles is an alpha male. It's not. Okay? SK, you could easily say at the beginning of the show, was probably the most nerdy guy. And to some people, he still may be the most nerdy guy. But don't mistake that because he's nerdy and very smart, he had the most alpha energy. And Raven recognizes that. That's why Raven is with him. Because SK has that energy, that he's in his masculine frame. Right? And so Shorty recognized that, and that's why they're flourishing. And out of all the men, I will say it again, he is the most alpha. Yes. Okay? Let's see who's the next. Oh, Jessica Simpson? Nah, we ain't doing that. Oh, man. Okay, I'm saving that for last. Nancy and Bartise. Oh, man. I'm not going to lie, guys. Let's start with Nancy. Nancy is... You know what? Nancy is a sweetheart. She's definitely a sweetheart. And she's a beautiful woman, okay? I will say Nancy is definitely that. The problem with Nancy is the type of chick that she doesn't have a lot of self-esteem when it comes to men. She doesn't. And Bartise was able to take advantage of that, right? So Nancy is the type of girl that is just, you know, she just was with Bartise. And I don't think Nancy ever been with a dude that she deemed that attractive, because she seemed very gassed. And also, she was kind of, to me, she was the female simp. When she said, oh, my money's your money, and this is how much money we make, I was like, oh, no. Shorty just seemed very much like a female simp. You know what I'm saying? And I know that she's looking for love and she wants to be loved. And, you know, the clock is ticking, you know what I'm saying? She's 33 years old now, and so she's getting older, and so she wants to have a child and a family. I understand that. But I think that, you know, she took a chance with Bartise, and it didn't work out. You know what I'm saying? And I think that, and who does her makeup? Yo, I'm not going to lie, she's a pretty girl, but whoever does her makeup, like, she looks like she's 50 here, bruh. Like, whoever does her makeup, like when you look at her makeup here, like, it looks way better, right? I'm sorry, I gotta be petty. But when you look at her without makeup right here, she looks beautiful. I mean, Shorty needs to stop wearing makeup. She got that syndrome where she looks worse with makeup on than she does without. I'm just being honest, okay? But yeah, I mean, she's definitely a female simp, and there are a lot of Nancys out here. They call them pick-me's, right? And I don't think there's nothing wrong with a pick-me, but there's something wrong with a female simp in the sense of where you let a dude just walk all over you because he's handsome. That's kind of like a dude that lets a pretty girl walk all over him because she's pretty, right? And the problem is that when you allow that to happen, she couldn't see the forest from the trees. And it's kind of like Shorty seemed very naive. She seemed very green. You know what I'm saying? I just got to be honest. But, guys, I'm not going to lie. Bartise, the first couple of episodes, was my favorite character. But Bartise, I got to keep it real, man. Bartise came off very disappointing. You know, I thought Bartise was going to be the alpha, and Bartise came out to be like the beta, like other show. Like, I got to just keep it real, because all that pillow talking that he did with Nancy was not attractive at all. You know what I'm saying? And then Bartise also making excuses for being drunk. You know what I'm saying? It's not alpha. Once again, it's kind of like, you know, Bartise got to understand, bro. Like, bro, just because you got the muscles don't make you alpha. Because, bro, you got to understand, like, man, all that pillow talking that you was doing with the females, it's just, you ended up looking goofy. You know what I'm saying? Like, he just doesn't understand. Like, you can say, yo, it's radical honesty. I get that. But to the determinant of what? Because he did some fuckboy shit. I got to be honest. When you had that private conversation with SK, and then you told Nancy about it. And I'm glad that SK checked him on that at the reunion show, because it's very goofy. Like, Bartise moves very feminine with how he, like, communicates. Very feminine. Like, he's got to, like, learn, like, keep that in check. And I know he's young, so there's room for him to grow. But it's very, like, he looks like the alpha. I thought he was the alpha in the first episode, but he turned out to be the beta because he did all that pillow talking and, you know, and then you ended up embarrassing yourself with Raven in the pool. I mean, just kind of like, you know, no game, no swag. at all. The swag was off. You know what I'm saying? So like, I'm not gonna lie, guys. Bartiz, I was kind of embarrassed. I had secondhand embarrassment for him because I expected better. But you know what? This goes to show you can't judge a person by the first look. Because anybody who would have seen Bartiz, you might have been like, okay, he's going to be that dude in the show. And he was initially in the pods for sure. But afterwards, the way he was moving after the pods was goofy as fuck. Like, for real, was super goofy. Like, I don't know, man. The alpha energy was not there, man. And you know what? The good thing about Bartiz, though, he's young and he can grow up. And hopefully by the time he's 30, you know, he'll have more alpha energy. Facts. Okay, so let's talk about Zanab. Oh my goodness. And Cole. Okay, I'm going to start with Cole first because, you know. So, you know, I was pretty harsh regarding Cole initially. And I stand by most of what I said. And by the way, like I said before in the beginning of my character assessment, it's nothing personal. I don't hate these people. I don't know these people. You feel me? I'm just giving my assessment watching the show. You know, giving y'all commentary. So I will say this. Cole is definitely, you know, Cole reminds me of myself a bit. He's a jokester. He likes to he likes to joke a lot. He likes to have fun, right? He seems like a very fun dude and whatnot. And is he a little bit immature? I think that the way he carried himself was definitely immature because sometimes he didn't know how to read the room. You know what I'm saying? And the pods, he was doing his thing, but sometimes he didn't know how to read the room. You know what I'm saying? So I think that Cole, the way that the show ended with Zanab, it vindicated him because Zanab, listen guys, and you know, like I was caping for Zanab, I'm not gonna lie, but Zanab, I gotta say this, Zanab is hurt, okay? She's a hurt woman because she's dealing with some trauma from the past, and I understand that, and I'm not judging her for that, I understand that, but the gaslighting and the master manipulation that Shorty was doing, and look at her Instagram followers. I think she got the most followers out of anybody. Crazy, right? The gaslighting, all of that she was doing, right? It really, yeah, I'm pretty sure. Hold on, let me check the other Instagrams too. I think she got the most followers. But what she was doing was kind of like, was too much, especially when the story came out at the end, the cutie story. We found out that to be fake, right? Shorty lied about that. Shorty made up this story about Cole being, being with some girl. That, that is questionable. But I think that Zanab is, especially with the cutie story, it showed you that Zanab just, number one, she doesn't know how to read the room, or she takes everything personal. And number two, she doesn't care about Cole like that. The way she was communicating with Cole, it seems like she wasn't into Cole like that. You know what I'm saying? And so I will say that, actually Raven's got the most followers. That would make sense because Raven is the baddest. I wonder what SK's IG is at, right? Let's check that. But, I just look at that situation with Zanab, and Zanab really, Zanab is first of all, I feel like Zanab misrepresented herself, right? Because in the pod, she seemed like she was a fun girl, that she was down for anything, right? But then after the pod, she was always so serious, so gloomy, always depressed and looking insecure, right? But the gaslighting, the numbers she did, especially the last 2 episodes, right? You could really, like, you could tell, and I said initially that, Zanab looks high maintenance. She looks kind of stuck up, right? And typically with women like Zanab, I'm going to keep it real. A lot of us fellas, we would give Zanab a pass because, like I said, she's a baddie, right? She is physically, but her personality makes her trash. Like, I'm not going to lie, her personality takes away from her physical attraction. Like Zanab is what we would call a mean girl. Like she looks pretty, but then if you take away what she looks like and just judge her, like she may be a 9 in looks, but personality, she's like a 3. You know? And I don't say that with malice or ill will, but just how she did Cole at the altar. Like when she did that prayer, right? You're like, okay, she prayed for him. And then 3 minutes later, she dragged him for filth. And when I look at that, I'm like, wow. Like, you really did that? You really prayed for this man and thank God for this man just 3 minutes later to drag him to filth? And I'm not saying that Cole is innocent. That ain't what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is that Shorty got to work on like her mental health. Shorty got to work on how she communicates. Shorty needs therapy and how she views herself, because there's no way that any man would be able to love her the way that she wants to be loved, because she has a lot of trauma. You know what I'm saying? And she's a beautiful girl. Like, you would look at her and would think, yo, she got it going on. You know, but just because you look good from the outside doesn't mean that you're good on the inside. Let me say that again. Just because somebody looks good on the outside doesn't mean that they're good on the inside. You feel me? And I think that Zanab, the reason why she's getting a lot of smoke is because of the fact that she keeps doubling down on her behavior. Like, and that's the scary part, because there's a lot of narcissist energy that I get from Zanab, right? This whole fake apology that she put up there, and then once again, she dragged Cole for filth. I mean, she didn't drag Cole this as badly as in the wedding, but you know what I'm saying? And it's kind of like, yo, you're like, I fought for us, blah, blah, blah. You didn't fight for him. Stop the cap, you know? And she says she stands by everything she says, and I salute that. But at the end of the day, I think Zanab, if she wants like a man to love her authentically, she's going to have to get healing, therapy. She's going to have to do that, because at the end of the day, like, Shorty's a walking red flag. You know what I'm saying? Yep, she's a nagger, which kills. Ladies, we don't care how bad you are. Nagging can ruin a relationship, okay? Listen, my last relationship got ruined because she nagged. It don't matter how beautiful you are, how big your booty is, how big your boobs are, how juicy your lips look. It don't matter. If you keep nagging, it's going to turn a man off. No fun. For the most part, didn't go in the pool, never seen her in the water. Always, every time he saw Zanab after the pods, I don't think I saw Zanab smile. After the pods, real talk. Right? Needs to lighten up, miserable to be around. Yeah, I mean, Zanab is the type of girl that she probably would suck the energy out of the room, you know? And I really think Shorty needs some therapy, bruh. Like, and real talk, like, and I said that Zanab is the type of chick, and I was gassed too, because I was looking at Zanab and I was like, yo, this chick is really bad, right? And of course, I should know better, because the more the episodes came on, there you go, more dragging Cole to filth. The more I saw this chick, the more I realized, yo, like, this chick is kind of, you know, she's kind of crazy, man. And Cole, in my opinion, he dodged a bullet. You know what I mean? I'm going to keep it 100. Cole dodged a bullet. You feel me? Anyway, guys. Yeah, this is my review, man. Keep it player, keep it peaceful, and I'm out.